Take one. The RngCast. Ladies and gentlemen of the RNG Revolution, welcome to the 54th episode of the RngCast. I, as always, am Buster Knuckle. Joining me today are... Apparently Biz forgot to unmute his mic.
It's the main man, the businessman 24. What's going on, everybody?
This is your boy Raven.
And joining us today, we have a very, very special guest. An insider, if you will, into the game production situation and Destiny 2. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Isaac to the show.
What's going on, bruh?
Hello.
So
shy.
he's
shy. He's very shy.
he's really shy, everybody. He's been in the chat with us for about 30 minutes, and we pretty much got 13 syllables from him. So it's going to be a fun show.
Okay, that's not right.
There we go. Okay, Isaac, just the introductory questions are: how did you get your screen name for whatever system you choose? What's your favorite weapon and your favorite exotic in Destiny? And you can also add what class you play as well.
Oof, screen name. Goes back all the way to high school as a nickname.
Uh-oh. All right, I'm coming
Still
off.
have no idea how I got it. So it's still a mystery. Favorite weapon. Outbreak Prime.
Okay. Is that also your favorite exotic? Because that double taps.
My favorite exotic is Thorn, actually.
Ooh.
You're that
Shadow's-
guy. You're that guy. You're that guy. You're that. Two tap.
Golden Legacy.
What class do you mean?
Oh, Titan, of course. Freaking Sunbreaker. Auto lock hammers, because apparently not a lot of people know it, but it's possible.
You're a sunbreaker. Interesting.
Yeah,
So you must have cried when they nerfed it to the ground.
No, when they nerfed it, that's when I discovered the auto lock.
Interesting. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Fair enough.
Basically.
So basically, the need justified the learning, because I'm terrible with hammers. That's my worst subclass for the Titan.
I don't know why.
Just use the auto lock method. You'll literally have fun with it.
May have to.
Hashtag plus has to get good with hammers.
Jesus.
I might not have to, really, because who knows with Destiny 2 if they even come back. So, for the Destiny news, our friends at the Sundowners Gaming clan got the clan spotlight for the TWAB. And
Nice.
Congratulations, guys. Sentinel Dad. Yeah, we salute you. Did anything else come out for Destiny news?
Destiny 2 is coming.
That's still a thing. No, I think other than the TWAB itself, that's about it for things as far as I know.
Okay, and I know they talked a little bit about the server situation on how everything works.
Little.
Yeah. Well, that was my segue into you jumping into the info dump that you're so into.
Well, basically in the TWAB, they of course went on their recapping of the Dre, the Destiny reveal event, and not to forget about Dre. Basically, that's actually that's Deidre Cosmos' joke. Whoever writes the TWAB, not mine. I take no credit for that. But interestingly enough, is I want to say kind of is because they did another one of these partial interviews with their engineering lead, who was responsible for the quote-unquote net code for Destiny 2. And a lot of questions were answered on, why no dedicated servers? Because a lot of the news is getting around, like from some information, that consoles just can't handle the resolution with the 60 frames a second, blah, 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 arguments, blah, 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 whatever. But anyway, but here we actually have a lot of information on why they didn't go into dedicated servers, and which, as far as to the why, they're basically really working on an adaptation of the current peer-to-peer netcode, and they're looking to, rather than use dedicated servers, a lot of information in there is they're looking to use cloud-based servers to take a load off of some of the peer-to-peer information. So cloud? Yeah, so there's definitely not going to be, which, as they explain, they say no dedicated servers. But there, as for just like Destiny 1, there is a minimal set of physical servers to handle certain things. And now they're actually beefing those physical servers up. But the reason why they say they don't have dedicated servers is because for the business side of things, dedicated servers are things that, it's like what an MMO normally has, is just, MMOs just have set dedicated servers. There's no peer-to-peer to it. You connect to their server. Mm-hmm. But since they do use a hybrid of certain physical servers with peer-to-peer connections, they, of course, go on to say there's no dedicated servers, even though there is minimal frame, which, like I said, that's actually one thing that they're beefing up, is their physical side. He did make mention that there will hopefully be no more host migrations in Destiny 2.
Okay.
They don't really go on to say how they're doing that, but it seems like the physical servers may serve as primary host instead of a random player, is what it sounds like. But
sorry, go ahead.
Well, like I said, there's just no direct information on exactly how that's going to work, because that's going to be interesting. The fact that Destiny as a game has host migrations once every, minute and a half, I think it is. So you don't always feel... It's like, it depends upon the person's connection that gets migrated to host as to if you can actually even feel a host migration.
So let me ask this question, right? Because I noticed that you mentioned, some of the reasons why they don't have those dedicated servers, which makes sense. It's costly, and not every area in the world is going to be able to get it because it's based on population. Not to mention too that places like China, which is very populated, would find their own set of issues because you have a more dense population versus somewhere like Somalia, where Burning Wing gets his internet from. But the question,
and people in less populated or less dense populations, like some of these countries, actually have no hope of getting a dedicated server of their own because it's just not cost effective.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, I guess the question that I have is, even if they were to purchase maybe additional servers, would that still maybe alleviate some of the strain that we currently face?
Legitimately, that kind of sounds like what they're doing. Like I said, it does sound like they are putting more on a physical basis, but but for one, I suggest everybody give this TWAB a read for this, but essentially, a lot of things are, the netcode itself in D2, just from the sounds of it, are going to be completely different because the netcode in D1 was basically set on the fact that your system handled the majority of the assets and such. Where, like, of course, all the art assets and things like that are on your system itself, and their servers are kind of more timers and such on when things are supposed to happen to keep things in unison with one another. But from the sounds of it, they may be actually bumping this up. So, like I said, it sounds legitimately like what you're saying is they might be having additional hub servers, and like I said, I have no clue on how they're going to use this cloud server framework at all. I mean, that sounds a little weird.
I guess the only concern that I would have, and I think this is just something that we face before, when servers go down, right? What's their contingency plan or backup plan for when we, experience, oh, shoot, server went down, Mayday.
Well, legitimately, that's one thing we actually don't get often from Bungie. Not as often as some MMOs have, because if you have a dedicated server, if your server goes down, you're screwed.
Right.
But at least with this peer-to-peer network, I mean, there could be backups. There actually could be contingencies of another server to take the load off of a primary server just in case things get wonky or weird or whatnot.
I was going to say hectic.
Yeah. But for that kind of question, I would need to be in Bungie payroll to answer properly. And even then, I probably couldn't answer it.
All right, so Bungo, hire Death Switch Raven and Buster Knuckle, and, there we go.
Well, I mean...
Hi, Isaac, too, if you want to.
I mean, Isaac did actually... Isaac, you did work on Destiny 2 a little bit, right? Is that... Am I wrong?
Just say on the story only.
I know
everything
you can...
that's, like, technical... It's all over the place for me. Don't really know that much.
And you can't talk about what you did, I understand. NDAs and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just we can't ask him. He won't be able to say anything to us.
I mean, well, we can ask. But he can always deej his way out of the conversation.
Ooh,
maybe not as eloquently. Maybe not as eloquently as Deej can teach himself out of a situation, but yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, a lot of news about what looks like very interesting plans they have in work. Because, like I said, using a cloud-based system to take some of this load off of a peer-to-peer thing actually sounds ingenious. Because it actually sounds like a nice midway point between peer-to-peer and dedicated, where there actually are no physical dedicated servers. Some of that New Age witchcraft and crap that I can't wrap my head around.
Yeah, it seems to take away some of the problems of, hey, there is 2 servers are down, half the game population can't log on, Twitter's exploding, everybody's adding us, and then everyone's getting mad, so now it seems like it will take a little bit of stress off. Plus, there are no more host migrations, which is so great.
Well, that, and like I said, I did like this part of the TWAB, and the question is, does this mean I'll never see a player warp around the map or shoot me through a wall again? And his answer is, we think those controller-throwing, lag-induced moments will be reduced for Destiny 2, but we can't promise they'll be eliminated. But fundamentally, we're trying to strike a balance between 3 hard problems. 1, make the game feel responsive. 2, make the game accessible to players all over the world. And 3, make the game fair for all.
Mm-hmm.
And, we'll continue to refine that balance as players engage with the Crucible and Destiny 2. And basically, the first taste we're going to get of this framework is beta, which they have said is still a loose summer date. Will be updated whenever they can have a solid date for beta.
The word they used was soon.
Yeah, soon.
In the TWAB, it said soon.
Yeah. Yeah. So once they actually know, we'll upgrade the beta forecast from its current status of soon with exact dates. So basically, it was a TWAB that's saying, get off our back about no dedicated servers.
Well, that's just one of the things that the community is complaining about, to be honest. But, I mean, I don't understand, I'll just say it like this without sounding like a jerk, but I'll probably sound like a jerk anyway. We have a lot of smart people in the community. Not everyone that plays the game is an idiot. So if you realize or understand how A, expensive it is, and B, how, it would still have issues. Because a lot of people have played games that had dedicated servers and there were still issues. Exactly. Why still harp on the topic of, well, we need dedicated servers? A lot of games had dedicated servers and they still had issues. So it's not a fix-all.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, as a shout out to our boy Mercules actually said on Twitter, go on Google and search for a game that has dedicated servers, i.e. Titanfall 2, Overwatch, and then Google that game and, connectivity issues.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be surprised at the amount of results you get. Because there's still connectivity issues, even with dedicated servers. And with that, because we, like with Munch, we have international friends we play with. That's possible. Sometimes it's a little frantic for Munch or us, like depending on who's hosting, who's not. But that's sometimes. But with dedicated servers, one of us would have to go to the Europe server, or he would have to come to and connect to a US server. And that would just utterly makes it just an always issue for playing with people internationally. It's like somebody's not connecting right.
Yeah, it's one of the main things too. Also, yeah, because we do play with a lot of people international and damn.
Yeah, people like Camp in Australia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good luck.
Which
Holden Court in Hong Kong.
Burning Wing in Somalia.
Burning Wing in Somalia.
That mean potato, bro.
Alright, so for the Trials map this week, it's Frontier. Right?
Avoid the bridge.
Frontier.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of bridge
Stop
playing.
rushing to the bridge.
Isaac, do you play Trials?
Once in a while.
Are you a PvE guy?
More likely.
He worked on the story of Destiny 2. What do you think, Biz?
He may just be a creative mind, but like to kill the man's more. I gave him that.
And besides, just because he worked on the story doesn't mean he can't have a competitive PvP perspective.
Exactly. Not everybody wants to go patrolling.
Hell, I've been playing PvP more than anything recently.
Why? You got tired of patrols?
No, I just play PvP
he
now.
He goes through his phases.
Yeah.
He goes through his phases.
I'm going...
If it's Kingsfall PvP, or PvE, Jesus.
Wait, there's a Kingsfall PvP?
Yeah, the dungeons, the Citadel.
I play the War Priest.
Yeah.
God, that would just be rage-inducing. Oh my god.
So, you mentioned Kingfall, Isaac. Is there a reason you mentioned Kingsfall?
Well, one, is my favorite raid of all time.
Fair enough.
And two, let's just say he has a bigger part.
Oh, snap. Wait.
Okay, hold on. You can talk about this because it's out.
Whoa.
You can talk about what you did in Kingsfall. Please do, because I was going to ask this when we interview you, but you just let the cat out the bag, my friend. The bag's open. The cats are just pouring out like a rainbow. Come on. Let us know.
Well, story-wise, we all already know another god is still out there.
Yes.
Yeah, me. What?
Jesus. Basically, we kill the grandson, we kill the son, but then he's still out there.
Talking about Nokris?
Watching.
Talking about Nokris?
Exactly. Now, there is a theory I've read around that if you play Kingsfall, if you're the Ascendant? Yeah, if you're the Ascendant running around getting the plates, whatever. God.
Yeah.
You look up to the outer distance, that probably is like the sun, whatever you want to say. But if you're Ascendant, it looks like an eyeball looking down at you. So it makes you wonder, is that someone or is it that just background effect?
You're playing you're playing your cards close to your chest. I like this.
So wait, hold on, let me get this straight. We can kill Crota, his daddy, and his grandpappy? Oh, man.
That would actually.
Well, if you pay attention to Bungie's Twitter a few weeks ago, they shared the first ever fan picture of Nokris.
Okay, I'm going to
And-
Twitter right now.
That makes you wonder why all of a sudden, why 3 years later, the first image of Nokris comes out, especially a fan picture.
And that, and like I said, just potentially, like just for like release aspect, like widening the scope. This would actually, because I mean D2, like the primary arc I hear. I mean, this part is like the rumor and conjecture, but like the primary arc is Gary. So you're introducing the fact that they might be introducing other major aspects, like before an expansion.
Or possibly during. Who knows? Because there is that Rasputin expansion that we don't really know. Plus, you see weird hive bat knights during the gameplay. So that makes you wonder why the hell is the hive still there?
That's true. Very interesting. And I take back what I said. You dance around topics very well.
Oh yeah, you're really good at this. You're real good at this.
Because that's enough information to A, sate my appetite, and like watching the reveal stream, A, sate my appetite, and B, hate you for not saying more. But
as you realize now, Des and I are gonna be messaging each other after this. Like, what did he mean? Oh, maybe Nokris can evolve the hive.
You got me looking at Bungie's
that...
Twitter like an idiot. Oh. Hello, sexy.
If you see that one Nokris picture on Bungie,
I got it.
Why is he tearing through a dimension?
Oh yeah, and Subcode actually brings up a good point in chat about some speculatives, just going off speculatives. I finished out my ghost hunting, kind of an early part of this, but I finished out some of my ghost hunting, and I found some Grimoire cards that were very interesting that can lead to some very interesting things for D2. It leads me to believe that some of these Grimoire cards are specifically to lead up to D2, because I'm thinking they were the most recent with Age of Triumph. But very interesting tidbits of information, such as we do hear from Prince Aldrin in a very roundabout way. He actually gets to meet and kill a Kell.
Interesting.
The Kell that he meets isn't just any ordinary Kell. He's a Kell that we wasn't even sure actually existed. He met and assassinated the Kell to the House of Kings. Now, nothing is actually explicitly said in that Grimoire card, or it doesn't even explicitly say who. But come on, I've been reading these things for 3 years. I know their writing style by now. But yeah, Prince Aldrin is actually brought before the Kell to the House of Kings with the intent of taking them over. So he's actually tortured for an unknown amount of time, staying strong, but trying to let them know he's broken and weak, so he can be brought before their Kell. And then he takes over. Then in a separate Grimoire card, that's not even in the Fallen. It's actually a Grimoire card Fallen 6. But it's not in the Fallen section. It's actually in the Mysteries and Legends section. Where what was it? There's a report that the Fallen are starting to leave. They're starting to abandon the Cosmodrome. There's less activity on the Moon, on Mars, and on Venus. These scout parties are going into Fallen holdouts and actually finding burnt house banners. Devils, Winters, which also, House of Wolves was actually dark blue. I did have to look that up, but they were dark blue. So these purple clothed fallen are a new house, because this seems to be. It's like what I get from these two Grimoire cards is the fact that these events is Uldren does seem to have taken over the House of Kings, and in doing so, he may actually be unifying the Fallen into one house. His house, his rule. For
Our
what?
house. What?
So yeah, for what? Who knows? But then again, we're seeing fighting these purple cloths, and if this is the new unified Fallen House, who knows?
I had showed on the stream real quick what Nokris looked like, so in case people were interested, they were able to see it.
Yeah, I saw that.
You looked kind of cool.
Yeah, very interesting.
Well, he's definitely a night morph, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, actually, that's it looks it's very similar to Oryx in appearance.
Like the king. That's a king morph then, right? And that's.
I mean,
it's,
could be. I mean,
who knows?
Nokris is actually.
Dude got a skull on his shoulder.
This hint is the fact that Nokris is actually the father.
So he would have been the fallen the king, right?
Yeah, king. He died in the Grimoire, but it's no saying what all. Or could just be a very roundabout thing, and Nokris could be the manifestation of the darkness. I mean, I'm not asking our guest directly, because if I can get an answer, but
Hey,
we're
man.
crossing the line. I can sit here and speculate.
But he's dancing around the top. That doesn't mean you can't ask a question.
Yeah. NDAs are a bitch, guys. I just want to let you guys. I just want to let you know that.
That's why there's certain things I'm not asking, because I mean, honestly, I want to know, but honestly, I don't want to know at the same time.
The best part is too, he's not on camera, so he could be nodding yes or no the entire time, and we're like, we don't
This
understand.
guy could actually just be like this. That's the answer. No, you're stupid. Stop it.
These guys are good. How they figure this out? They can't see my face, so fuck them.
Jesus.
But yeah, like I said, just a couple of very interesting cards. Oh, and the fact that Eris Morn has disappeared from the tower, like Subcult actually brought up. She sees.
She's not there?
Yeah.
Well, in the
Oh, you talking about?
In game, she's still there.
Sorry,
but according to this Grimoire card, she's not going to be there in D2 because she's already gone. She actually foresees what I assume to be this Cabal attack coming to us, and she dips.
Oh, really?
Because Hive connection. Oh my god, dude, you gave me. Oh god, that just actually made that connection. She makes mention that she has to go from the safety of the city to do something about the Hive.
Gonna bring back Nokris?
or try to stop him.
She might be foreseeing a bigger threat in the Hive that could become a problem, and could already be taking steps to making that not a problem. Much like she came and warned us about Crota.
Yeah, but I mean, we got to deal with Gary, who done screwed us hardcore. Like, are you telling me
that may not be our only threat?
But okay, but then that would mean to me, A, there's either collusion between the Hive and the Cabal, or B, that somebody has been a spy and has been watching for this threat, and then has alerted the Hive. No. So these mother suckers just came out and they were like, we know you're weak, we're gonna kill you dead. What?
Yeah, that's
because like us, except actually a little more than us, the Hive are paracausal. They don't rely on instruments. They don't rely on things. If Nokris is a step above Oryx, I mean, we just had to kill Oryx's son for us to get Oryx's attention, and for him to know where we were. And now all of a sudden we're killing another family member. Who knows? I mean, it's pretty much been stated, that at the very least we could have alerted his sisters. But if this person is actually above Oryx in any way...
Yeah, because we made a huge opening in the feeding chain by taking Oryx out. That's a huge power vacuum that needs to be filled.
Well, maybe we didn't. Maybe that power vacuum only exists on the Dreadnought, and the rest of the Hive are like, oh, wait, he's king now.
Oh, yeah. That guy?
That's
cool.
Yeah.
So
there's still lots of the dreadnought that we haven't explored too. There might be some other bad bastard there just sitting there like, as soon as that dude Oryx is dead, I'm gonna rise up, take over, and we're gonna kill these people.
Why there? God, give us somewhere else to go. Jesus. But legitimately,
the dreadnought. The dreadnought is also a prison. Don't forget about that.
That's true.
We do bust into one of the cells to take out
Cool.
Alakul before he becomes a prince himself, or actually he's already a hive prince. I forget what. I know something prince, but I was wanting to say there was a title like something prince that they went by. But yeah, Alakul was a hive prince, so he is. And then there was Malak, who attempted to take the seat himself, who was actually a spy. Malak's story is actually interesting because Malak was actually a spy from one of Oryx's sister to betray Oryx by sending some of his offerings to his sister, but instead of sending the offerings to his sister, he actually decided to keep the offerings for himself to make himself more powerful, which is why we had to deal with him. So that's already 2 threats that we've had to knock down involving the roundabouts of the Dreadnought.
So this whole tangent came off of Frontier being the Trials map.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did.
How do we go from PvP to PvE? You guys are trickers, man. Tricksters.
Tiptoeing through the tulips, man. I don't know what happened, but that's what happened.
Tiptoeing through the tulips.
Yeah, we tiptoed
say that
through
3 times fast.
I think because what you did is you asked Isaac if he played PvP or PvE. He said he's more of a PvE, and then I said, oh, probably because he did the story for D2, and then he said something about Nokris, and we all lost our goddamn minds collectively. Well, Des and I did.
You got peaked for a second, Biz. You got peaked for a second. You can't.
Yeah, but you know what?
Your eyes were big.
Isaac,
you got hungry.
Well, first of all, I didn't know there was a fan art picture. So when I see this picture, I'm like, oh, that is so cool.
And it is interesting that Bungie chooses now to focus on they haven't even mentioned at all or acknowledged the existence of Nokris, other than the one scannable tomb in Regicide, I believe, that mentions Nokris the one time.
The cool thing I liked about the picture was if you look at his eyes, it's the 3 flowing lights. Like in Regicide, when you go into to fight Oryx, it's the 3 flowing rivers of light or whatever the fuck it is. So
I have it on stream so that people see it.
Thank you.
Also, too, it looks like he's ripping through. I mean, granted, this is fan art, but he's looking like he's ripping through another dark dimension. I mean, he has a sword in his hand. I wonder if Erismorn has that piece of the sword that was from Oryx's sword. Maybe that. What is that thing called?
The shard.
The shard.
The shard. There you go.
Yeah,
that shard right there. Maybe she's.
I forget the name of the material. Crap.
It's Ascendant. I'm kidding. Maybe that shard is going to be used to maybe bring back Nokris. Because what I can't help but to notice, well,
actually, from lore perspective, that can happen.
Bungie hired me.
But no. Because that shard was specifically used. Well, I mean, from a singular story aspect, that shard was used to make one of our exotic swords. And in D2, we actually see Shax holding Raise Lighter is actually at his back. So that shard is actually occupied. That specific shard.
Yeah, he has the eyes of Eris. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he cut her a deal like, help destroy my son. Because at the end of the day, like, let's be honest.
It's all about power and betrayal. Yeah.
Exactly. Oryx didn't like Crota, like, you bastard of a son, you suck. I'm sure Nokris feels like, Oryx, you're weak just like your grandson. I don't know where this came from. It must be your mother's fault.
Oryx threw Crota into a time vortex to fight through time to get better.
No. Okay, also, at the same time, though, I mean, just to also notice how crazy they are and how, like, demented from us, like, the view is. I mean, Oryx mentions killing his sisters as an act of love for them. So, I mean...
He did wipe out his sister's fleet because she showed her flank, right? In one of the Books of Sorrow. He just destroyed her entire fleet to teach her a lesson.
It's like, oh, hey, your flank is open. Guess what? I'm going to be the one to teach you that lesson.
Shabam.
Oh, hey, you're weak enough for me to kill. I'm just going to kill you over and over again.
Okay, it could be like a savage way of, I hate to say it like this, but like, like in a lot of stories and, cultures, you send your kid off to the wolves and he's not a man till he comes up with a lion's head or, the skin of a wolf. It's like, I did it a thing. Like, Vikings, when Bjorn basically took his leave of absence, go to the woods and kills a bear and, comes back, with bear meat and bear fur and whatever. This could be the same thing but on a more sick and cynical level where it's like, if you want to be a man, you got to kill the thing that you love. All right, cool. I love my sisters. Shank. Okay, cool. But also, I love my son. Get the out and be a man. I mean, I don't know.
Also, from like I said, for those that are into multiple games, this is also a story that mimics the Mishima line from Tekken, where Heihachi actually threw his 7-8-year-old son off of a cliff and told him, if you're strong enough, if you're a true Mishima, you'll be able to climb back up.
That's cool.
Which actually leads to the fact that, this is actually a moment it was reiterated a few times in Tekken history, but in Tekken 7, for the story mode, you'll actually be able to toss young Kazuya off a cliff as Heihachi.
It's fantastic.
He adopted another child, like this street beggar, so he could be a rival to his son. So, this attitude, isn't foreign to culture, true, but it's just a very, like I said, it's you throw magic into the equation, all of a sudden you're getting flung through space and time into different corners of the universe saying, yeah, get back, or not, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get back, I don't care. All right, so, Biz, how do you feel about Frontier as a Trials map?
Well, I didn't play it. I didn't play it this week, and so, but I think every time I've played it, it's just one of those maps where, how can I best explain this? It's very campy, extremely campy. And, a lot of the fights happen along the bridge, which really sucks. Because you're confining yourself to a limited space, but that's where the enemies are. And so, personally, I like to stay outside of the bridge if I can get a quick pick. But also, too, what I like is that, on either side, it's because it's open, you can basically get your flank on, especially if you have people staring down the bridge like an idiot. Also, something I like to do, too, I don't know if you can still do this because it's been a while since I played on this map, but you can jump on the bridge, Titan skate across, and then, if they're just sitting there like ducks, just straight fist of havoc them, and then call it a day. They're just like, oh, shit, he was coming from the top. Yeah, because you think I'm focusing coming through the bridge like an idiot. It's okay. It's not my favorite map.
That, and you don't want to stick... it plays a lot like Black Shield, sadly. And the fact that a lot of the play that happens in a very confined quarter in a very open map.
Mm-hmm.
But to reiterate what Biz said, try and avoid the bridge, but also try and avoid Pride Rock side. Because a lot of times I've played this map, a lot of people camp or post up at Pride Rock and look down into the bridge from the open sector of that. So if possible, go towards B side and that side heavy, play a little from there. And if you have to, completely circle around to their spawn, to get in on them. But chances are a lot of teams are either going to play Bridge or Pride Rock.
Yeah. And don't do that. Don't play Pride Rock. Just don't. You're open in the air. You can get your head sniped off. Are you serious?
That and any sniper with half a brain is also going to post up on Pride Rock.
I guess, but a better sniper will post from, if you're coming from, was it A side or C? C side. Right in the clock, right down. So you can come from outside, where the right far outside, or you can go through where the little room is with the special and snipe them off too. And still
also, sadly, as you bring that up, it actually makes me think that camping may not be a bad idea for this map because there are a fistful of head glitches in this map still, in spots you can post up that you don't normally look at. So
I think on Seaside too, you can right before you go through the whole entrance or exit, there's a ledge that I think you can jump on and just stay there and have the team running. So like, oh, where did he go? He's supposed to poof,
Yeah.
drop down, get your eagle.
Yeah, there's a couple of those ledges.
I don't like this map. No bueno.
Okay.
Isaac, what about you?
This map is it is a little tricky when it comes with friggin' snipers, but me as a Titan, I would just run and gun them.
It's legitimate.
Friggin' punch them in the faces, get them all scared and scattered around.
It's a shock and awe mentality of a Sunbreaker.
Well, with the universal remote.
Oh. I can't argue with you. Yeah, universal remote will definitely get you.
Then again, Fabian strategy. God. So good in trials.
Did you say Fabian strategy?
Yep.
Oh God.
I mean, it's really good for friggin' medium counters, so.
That's what Buster wants to hear.
If you want to use a Titan, use Fabian strategy.
You mean Fabian strategy? Is it Fabian or Fabian?
It's Fabian.
I call it Fabian, but it sounds better.
Yeah, Fabian. All right,
I'm gonna be that guy.
Strategy.
Fabian strategy.
Which the paradox is that a Fabian strategy would never work against Guardians. Because it's more of a, if I understand properly, it's an attrition strategy.
It's wear them down.
Yeah.
Constant attacking until they're
which we're good at because we can res, but
beat them into
it's something
submission.
that will never work against us.
Yeah.
Outlast them, basically. It's Muhammad Ali. It's rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
You let them wear them down, and then you come in with a hook. You're done. Walk away.
Oh yeah.
Okay, guys. One of my favorite topics, the RNG recommend section. We're not going to go through every single weapon like we did in past weeks because, goddamn, why? So we're going to
Especially
go.
when coming up with weeks that, I mean, it's happened a lot now. Like when there aren't that many good roles to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's like.
So, Isaac, do you have a weapon from this week, one of the vendors that you like, that you would recommend, that you think is a fun roll?
Ugh. Not really. Not really this week. I mean, all the other weapons I had were from past weeks, but this week was just dull, I should say. My opinion. But.
Okay.
Ugh.
Biz, do you have one? Or
Yes, I do actually. If you didn't get the Event Horizon last week, okay, sorry, but I think the Event Horizon this week is also pretty good. It has your short gauge scope. It has Underdog or Perfectionist, which I think Underdog is a good perk to have. Maybe not on a sniper, but I think it's still a solid perk. Because Perfectionist, you have to be an OG sniper. Like, let's be for real. If you're an OG sniper, then okay, but it wouldn't work in PvP because if you get 3 precision kills, then the match is over. Or trials, I should say. It's not good in trials.
Oh, yeah, for trials,
but for like, maybe I guess okay. So I guess for like,
it's like it's either a PvE or like if you're really good, a 6s like thing.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, but I still like Underdog personally more. It has quick draw and it has hidden hand. So again, if you're looking for a higher impact sniper rifle, short gauge, quick draw, hidden hand are still 2 top tier perks to have. Well, quick draw, hidden hand are 2 top tier perks to have on a sniper rifle. So I'd go with that one personally. I bought it.
Yeah, the Event Horizon last week was good. I have that too. It's fun. Yes, go ahead. I know which one you're. I'm glad I didn't pick the same one as you this week.
Parthian shot. Buy it. Love it. But no, seriously. It's got a really nice set of a nice set on it. It's got sure shot, so it's actually got a target acquisition or aim assist sight hooked up to it. It's got Outlaw attached to it, and it does have Take a Knee. Trust me, I know how that sounds, but legitimately, the stability bonus on Take a Knee is legit. It's not something you really want to do, but I mean, yeah, Take a Knee is actually a pretty good perk. Like, and from what they've done to it. It does have braced frame, and it does have rifled barrel. I would not actually suggest using braced frame because it's only a 24 round, and I think it only takes it down to 21. But even then, like 21 and sub 21 on any pulse just is a little less bueno.
Even for a higher impact pulse rifle, though.
Even for a higher impact, I mean,
this is a Red Death archetype, correct?
No, this is 2-tap you from anything and you're dead. This is the messenger. This is the highest impact.
So 2 burst kill.
Mm-hmm. It's full
precision.
Burst connects. Yeah, this has to be like, I think it has to be 9 crits to do 2 bursts. So I mean, it's super unforgiving, but it's like if you can get that 2 burst, it's actually the most competitive time to kill pulse rifle you're actually going to encounter. So if you can actually, if you can, like, and with counterbalance. Personally, I would have liked it if it had something like perfect balance to go with counter. But with rifled barrel increasing its range, with sure shot increasing the magnetism and such, I mean, this is going to be like an aim assist monster with the way it is. So I mean, it's going to have some nice stickiness.
Ooh,
and
sticky.
Yeah, it's going to have some crazy hitbox registrations and stuff. So it's going to be easier to get your headshots with this one in particular.
I have 2. One's going to be no shit, and one's going to be a surprise, I think. The no shit is the Assembly 2 with extended mag, perfect balance, and hidden hand. For a bullet hose, extended mag just adds to the amount of bullets, obviously. Perfect balance makes it a little bit more stable, and hidden hand increases that target acquisition, which you need to have if you use auto rifles. And then the surprise one is the Angel's Advocate this week with life support, perfect balance, and Firefly.
I heard about that Angel's Advocate. Everyone was like, "Oh, you need to go get it," and I was like,
actually forgot about that one. Yeah, it's actually.
I mean, yeah.
It's a pretty legit loadout. Life support. Well, I've seen it proc quite a few times on my. I have Judgment, but that's PvE also. But also, like I said, it's Firefly is just a great. I mean, it's a great PvE perk, but it's also a great perk to use in PvP to give yourself that reward sensation of getting headshot kills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I did a thing.
And perfect.
Yeah, it's a very prominent. Look, like I said, look, you did a thing. Mm-hmm. You did a good thing. Congratulations. Here's your fireworks.
It's the here's your cookie of gun
exactly.
perks.
Exactly. Thank you. Good job.
And perfect balance just keeps it from.
Yeah, perfect balance is really strong on. Yeah, perfect balance is really strong on an Angel's Advocate because about the only thing that's really missing stat wise to be comparable with Mida is like its stability and its magazine size. But I mean, 15 shots isn't bad. I definitely would. That's another weapon I would not suggest getting anything that reduces a magazine size on because you need those 15 shots.
Yeah. You're gonna feel it. So
yeah.
So
sweet.
This week's revolutionary ideas, I actually have one from one of my coworkers who we had the interesting time of. I was talking about Destiny and the slow head turn and you play Destiny? Yeah, you play Destiny? Yeah, I have a podcast about Destiny. No shit. And then we...
Wait, your own friends didn't know you had a podcast?
Well, he's a new coworker.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It would have been funny. He's like, wait, you're Busted Knuckle?
Yeah,
my God.
he just made the union and, with a union job, there's a high attrition rate, so you don't really get to learn, a lot about people until they make it, because you don't want to, get.
It's like
yeah, pretty much. You got 90 days for me to get to know you, and then if you don't make it, then all right, whatever. But what is your dream game? If you could design a game.
Oh my God!
What is your dream game? And it just so happens this week Isaac's here, and he's in the game creation industry, the game production industry. So, I mean, it just so happens that this is the perfect week for him to bring that up. So, I'm going to leave that open to whoever wants to jump in first.
I'll give it to Isaac first because I have no creative bones.
Everyone has creative bones. Jesus.
Yeah, you did this dope layout for our Twitch stream.
This looks nice.
Thank you.
So go ahead, Isaac. I guess you got first shot.
All right, I'll give you the floor.
I mean, honestly, like personally, probably something similar to Silent Hill, because everyone knows when Silent Hill is mentioned, everyone freaks out, and God, it's kind of hard to actually think of it because at first you think of it, but then you start thinking about it more, and it gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
Which is that with like what's kind of going on with Death Stranding, it's like he has this good idea, but then just spitting it out, it's like it's just you really can't. But
Okay.
God, I would say something similar to freaking Silent Hill. Just freak the fuck out of everyone. Put disturbing shit in it, like Outlast, but even more.
Okay.
But
So you want the jump scares of jump scares. You want the game that everybody's like, "Oh God, why did I play that game? I can't sleep right now." And then you're like, "Yeah, mission accomplished." You're welcome.
exactly, like a few years ago, Amnesia, The Dark Descent was that game for everyone, and that was just perfect.
Yeah, Amnesia was a special little game when it came out. That was a game I watched a playthrough of it. I was getting freaked out of the crap happening in that. Watching someone else play through, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, there's no way I'm playing this game.
And the only other game that came close to it is Alien Isolation. That's the only other game that came closer, but it's still not as great.
Wait, that was the first person like survival game based off of the aliens, right?
Yeah.
Like you had the
Yes.
xenomorph chasing
where
you every
you-
now and then. Oh yeah,
That's where you play
Yeah.
Ripley's daughter, trying to find out what happened to Ripley between Alien and Aliens, or Aliens and Aliens 3. It was between
1 and 2.
Oh, was 1 and 2? Okay.
Or I can't really remember.
See, I can't remember if it was between 1 or 2 or 2 and 3, mainly because I can't remember how the movies go.
Or you
Yeah, the movies 3 and 4 doesn't exist to me.
Oh no, they exist because it's hilariously. I got my wife into Aliens because she saw what the franchise became with like AVP and stuff like that, like the very action-oriented type stuff. But she loves horror movies, so I actually had to sit her down to watch the original Alien movie. She loved it because it was such a suspense horror like experience. Oh my god, like if you haven't watched the original Alien and Aliens, like those two movies are like suspense and thriller masterpieces. Oh,
well, Alien more than Aliens was
well,
more
like I said, after the sequel, but 3 and 4 it really got into basically extraterrestrial action shooter. So I mean,
sure.
which it went down faster than the Resident Evil series did. Oh, anyway,
Resident Evil. Oh.
God. Anyway,
So you want to make the scariest game ever made? That'd be your dream game.
Basically,
Okay,
with Kojima's power, maybe possible.
we'll get there. We'll get there,
I mean,
sir.
like one of the biggest tragedies of our time when Silent Hills got canceled.
God,
Wasn't it wasn't it called PR or something like that?
No, PT was the
PT,
teaser, was the
that's
playable
right.
teaser for
favorite
it.
teaser.
Which I tell you what, the teaser
Oh my god.
that came. My God,
I still have it on my
I know-
PlayStation. I'm so scared. Like I played it, I'm
That's-
like,
I downloaded it once, thought about playing it, deleted it, said nope, nope.
like my big thing. My big thing is I'm a jump scare mark. Like jump scares get me every single time. Like I'll know they're coming, and I it's just like my natural instinct. And there is a jump scare in that game in that demo that it happened, and I went fuck this, and threw my controller and walked away. I had to turn on all the lights. I made sure there was nothing under the couch. I was like just making sure there's nothing.
Jump scares don't get me so much, but it takes a special game. Like for me, like it's got to be atmosphere. Like you've got to set it up just right for me to be. But then I'll be super susceptible to jump scares.
Well, it's not the visual. It's more like the audio cue that gets me.
Oh yeah.
So
the audio mixing has to be
I hate
just perfect for that scare.
Mm-hmm.
I hate those obvious jump scares that like rely on the visual and the audio cue, and it's just like that was just surprising. That wasn't scary.
like with Outlast, it has a lot of audio cues and that kind of ruined it. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, especially the first Outlast, like whenever something surprising happens, it's like this heavy chord. It's like, it's like, come on. It's like old slasher stuff.
You hear that low C?
To compare with Alien Isolation, where it's just dead quiet.
It's even worse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My perfect game.
Well, your dream game. Whatever. Perfect. Your dream game.
I think mine would be a cross between Titanfall and Destiny.
Oh, Jesus.
What is that supposed to mean?
Transformers pop in my head.
Okay.
But no idea why, but
especially like season 1 Transformers where they used to change sizes a lot.
Oh god.
but like okay, so I guess how I would fuse the two. So from a story perspective, not only are your mechs, right, or your giant robots are like fighting machines, but it can also turn into ships, and you can go sail off into all the different galaxies and whatever, right?
So you want Macross?
Sure, whatever that is.
That's exactly what he wants.
Robotech.
Yeah, pretty much. But at the same time, what I do like about Titanfall more so is that it's a limit to the weapon perks that you have. So that way you're not spending all this time grinding for the perfect roll, but you can customize it with different combination of perks so that you can make the roll that you want.
So pretty much that's what happened. That's what we already covered that last week. That's what Destiny 2 is bringing more of that into it.
We're hoping. We don't know what the weapons mods bring.
We can't see Isaac's face. He might be nodding
Isaac,
yes.
do you know the answer to that question, or can you not say?
Wait till D2.
He has a clue. He has a clue.
One,
you know when people like that like take the path of I don't know. It's like when you're not trying to spoil movies for someone. Like my wife that still hasn't seen Logan. I can't tell her about that movie because I don't want to spoil like the big part of Logan.
What part? I'm kidding.
I'm not saying because I'm not saying, but yeah, I mean, I want to tell her like the big part, like what happens, and it's like you're just gonna have to watch.
What happens? I don't know.
Exactly. You walk away.
Yeah. So basically, that level of customization, and then I do like the fact that you have 3 separate, guardians that can do 3 separate things and have their strengths and weaknesses. So I like that piece of Destiny. I would like some dragons, especially if you can own one. That'd be cool. If you can bring it into
dragon.
Sure, but more for PvE purposes. So say if you're dealing with a crowd or a massive, force, you're like, okay, here comes your dragon,
So
like summons from Final Fantasy,
like Daenerys Targaryen style. No, I wasn't going there. I'm saying Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Sorry, I don't Final Fantasy, bro. So
so
not that you can control your dragon, but your dragon do some dirty work for you.
So basically, you want a Destiny with more shooter aspects and more RPG aspects.
Not necessarily, because I don't want you to be able to control your dragon. I want you to be able to call it for help.
Which was a Final Fantasy thing, early Final Fantasies. They summons used to come out for one attack and they were gone.
Okay, well, sure, I guess.
I mean, it's not recent Final Fantasies. That's when they basically become either a party substitute or a pet of some kind. Except for 15. 15 actually went back to was one massively power summon that just smacks everything.
it doesn't even have to be dragons. It could be just wolves too, like how Salad Man has his wolves. I mean, some creature that, you know, at a split moment you can and he just come out of nowhere and help you out or whatever the case is, and then go about your business. But yeah, so mechs plus more animals plus shooter aspects equals my perfect game, I guess.
Question mark?
So you want Final Gundam Fall? Gotcha.
Final Gundam Fall Cross.
Gotcha.
I'm not
Oh
crazy.
my god.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I was just
God,
like, I would
Dreamcast.
never hire Biz as voice work for me. Just mess it all up. Notice he didn't deny it. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Crap. Perfect game. Dream game. What would tickle my fancy?
Cruiser Zero.
Nah. That is EverQuest, is it not?
Like I said, I do have a tidbit of information that is actually hilarious. That essentially without EverQuest, hilariously, do you realize that Overwatch may not have been a thing without EverQuest?
Yeah.
You do?
No. I just want to say yeah to make conversation.
What was his name? It's something Kaplan. He's the lead guy for Overwatch. It's something Kaplan. By the way, like Overwatch is basically his baby. Hilariously though, even though he stuck with it for so long and as actually one of the founding figures for World of Warcraft, he met Blizzard, like a lot of the Blizzard devs that were responsible for World of Warcraft. He met while playing EverQuest. And he was an avid EverQuest player. And
Okay.
Jeff Kaplan. Thank you, Holden. Jeff Kaplan. By the way, so he met a couple of Blizzard employees, essentially, in like these guilds and such, and just started talking to him and talked about his background and like wanting to do like game design and such.
Mm-hmm.
These employees actually flew him out to meet some of the Bungie employees, or not Bungie, but Blizzard employees. And they told him about their upcoming project, World of Warcraft. And so he had a phone call where he was actually offered a job as like a lead quest writer. And it was hilarious because he realized that the job's requirements were actually specifically tailored for his background.
Interesting.
Blizzard actually made him a job, essentially. And that's when he realized that this flying out and meeting these guild people was basically an informal interview, because he was very quickly given this job, had to help with the shipping of the Warcraft 3 expansion, because it was coming out, and then immediately started working World of Warcraft, did some World of Warcraft stuff, and his first 2 expansions, before he was pushed off to work on the second MMO title, Titan, which, as we now know, was canceled and became Overwatch, which he is now attached to.
So, okay, Overwatch, the game that we know and love right now.
It was originally designed
I
as
wouldn't
an MMO.
say love. You love
Okay,
it.
okay. Look, Buster, just because you don't PvP doesn't mean.
I was about to say, considering it has a huge competitive scene, not like an actual MLG competitive scene, a lot of people love it.
Yeah, Buster, get on the train. Anyways, so I was looking.
Join us.
Huh?
Get a main, join us in Overwatch and just wreck shit.
All right, man, and join it on PC too. You'll love it. Anyways,
No, PlayStation.
And actually, right now would actually be the time to try Overwatch, because it's actually an Overwatch free weekend.
free, Buster, get on it.
Sure.
Try it. I'll be on tonight. We can play. Look at you. You never want to try anything.
I
You
played
always
it. I played Overwatch. I played
you gave
Tracer.
it a Buster shake?
No, I played Tracer, and I didn't like it.
Here we go. You don't like Titanfall.
Don't play
you don't like
Tracer.
Overwatch.
That's not the first character you should
You played as Tracer?
try.
Yeah.
All of them.
No, you gotta try Soldier 76 first.
Soldier is
No,
the
no,
gateway
it's-
to Overwatch.
It's Junkrat. Come on, you cannot
No.
kill yourself
Junkrat
anymore.
is hilarious, but
cannot kill
Soldier is
yourself
legitimately
anymore.
the gateway.
Soldier 76. If you're into shooters, that's the because I didn't like Overwatch in the beginning either. And when I started playing as Soldier 76, I really got into the game, mostly on PC. But nevertheless, Soldier 76 is a great bridge. But to your point, Des, I was looking at some images of EverQuest, and there's a guy on here that looks like Reinhardt. Looks like Reinhardt. It's actually kind of interesting. I'm gonna just pull it up on the screen for people.
I mean,
But the guy in the middle here kind of has the shape and figure of Reinhardt. Reinhardt is this big hunking dude, with the silver armor. All he needs is a friggin' hammer, and he is exactly Reinhardt.
Oh, that would actually be a warrior from EverQuest as well.
Right.
And what you're looking at is actually Generation 1 EverQuest graphics, which, and considering it came out in the late 90s, is understandable, but God, does it not hold up now.
Well, I understand, but I'm saying like the main character, the character in the middle is basically Reinhardt day one.
Well, Reinhardt is basically also essentially your, even though he has a big like energy shield, he's essentially your medieval knight. So yeah. And like I said, apparently a good deal of the World of Warcraft devs were avid EverQuest players, which is just hilarious.
So, Des, what's your dream game?
I don't know.
EverQuest.
It's like herding.
Essentially,
it's like herding cats with you guys.
Essentially, it would be something. It would have to be Destiny on steroids. It's like I want a legitimate MMO, like featuring like some team-based, shooting type stuff. That's in Destiny. That's in things like Overwatch and Paladins and such. But like with that, like I said, with that huge like MMO feel, like just massive, which understandably isn't going to be done right now. But that would have to be my dream game, like a proper fusion of the two.
Okay.
Just put Destiny on steroids, make it like 100 times larger, like with one, like, yeah. Let's say D2 was like 10 times larger than what they're saying, which they're saying it's like 4 times larger than D1, which it might actually be 4 times larger than freaking Taken King from what they're hyping. But yeah, just massive.
Okay.
And I'm talking, but yeah, you're right with EverQuest, because I'm talking like grinding for top weapon for like a month. Put it in hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. Spending hours. It's like 20-man raids. Give it to me, Bungie.
With no checkpoints.
No.
No sleep. No rest.
If you had to leave, you left, and then you were stuck with less men. That's how raids used to work back in the days.
Which actually, legitimately, like I said, considering they were all EverQuest players, it explains why WoW was such a streamlined experience, because they literally took what was good about EverQuest and just made it super, super streamlined.
I would have to say my dream game is Rogue Galaxy 2. Just the continuation of Rogue Galaxy. It could be Jasper's son, or another character entirely in the universe and take me to different planets, and I don't know, because there's 7 of the celestial swords. You could have another one of the celestial swords fall into the hands and run through that. That would be a choice for me, because I saw it on GameSpot. I think it was the top 100 RPGs, and Rogue Galaxy wasn't in it, and I literally got angry, and I text my friend who we marathoned through Rogue Galaxy together, and I was like, yo, Rogue Galaxy isn't even on the top 100. He was like, man, fuck GameSpot. Yeah.
Damn, that's how you feel?
Oh yeah, like it's our favorite game.
Yes.
So.
Wow.
Well, sadly, it's just hard to compete with RPGs, though, legitimately.
Yeah.
Because you have the icons, and then you have, something like Final Fantasy, sadly, where there's no connecting story. Each game essentially equates its own title. So that's legitimately, that top 100 might have been a little final, like, it was in there at least 4 times.
It was Final Fantasy.
Just off the top of my head.
7, 10, 4, 1. I think it was. If I can.
They didn't include 6. They can go screw themselves. But anyway,
they might have included 6. I don't remember. I just remember 7, 10, 4, 1 for some strange reason.
I mean, then, I mean, you're, like I said, you're competing with those and like what all Square had to learn there, and then Chrono Trigger, which was a masterpiece of itself. The Mana series, which was ingenious for its time.
Legends of Dragoon.
The Saga series, which never came over here. Legend of Dragoon was huge over here.
Dark Cloud.
I've heard things about that. And then you have, like I said, the Dragon Quest series, which is Japanese oldest running RPG series. Whereas Final Fantasy is more popular, Dragon Quest is older, which why the Square Enix merger was so huge for its time. Yeah.
Sweet.
And, I mean, I kind of just baked off of that a little bit anyway, so there's your baking for you guys.
All right.
I don't really have much to bake about to rant on. I don't think Biz has anything. No. Nope, no bacon no bacon instance. Nope. Okay, cool. Now, Isaac, why don't you tell everybody what you do? Because this will bridge into the our little interview portion.
Well, I do various things from writing, art, filmmaking, production, concept, designing, just basically just so many things that people are surprised that I could do because not many people could actually do multiple things at once anymore now, which is more strange to me, I guess.
Why is that? Because everyone wants to dive into a specialty, or people just don't have the patience and time to learn everything anymore?
Yeah, because right now it's just people see like one thing, like, oh my god, that one thing makes so much money. I want to go do that. But instead of like doing multiple things where you could get actually the most money, so it's going backwards now. How things are, it's just weird for me at least. But
So you're telling me that if I ever want to get into this industry, I should be able to do everything under the sun so that I'm marketable in some way, shape, or form. So I need to know. So what tools do you use, like that, to do everything?
well, at Maker side, that's a company secret because it's owned by Disney, and you know how Disney. There's so
Trade secrets.
we're so secretive of what we use. But with other companies, we use like Adobe, of course, major company of all creators. We're going to use Adobe, which is like Photoshop, Illustrator, yada.
Okay.
Basically, that's what we mostly use because it's everything. Everything you need.
Okay.
If you want to color something, there's Photoshop. If you want to edit, there's... Forgot the name of the program, but that one program. God damn it. But Adobe has everything.
Hold on. You said what? After Effects, Audition, Bridge.
After Effects.
Oh yeah, After Effects. Yeah.
It helps that I have the whole entire Adobe Creative Suite on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how to use it.
Watch videos.
Get in there and
Jesus.
mess things
Play
around.
around.
It's just mess around with it.
I did. That's how we got this cool overlay.
Keep going at it. Just
Fair enough.
Just keep
stop. Just keep going.
So if I wanted to make a movie, what's the Adobe program for that? Is it Lightroom? No, that's pictures. Oh, Premiere Pro.
Yeah, that probably. Yeah. That's what a lot of people use for editing and such.
Premiere and After Effects, those two really come together with video. But After Effects takes a while to learn. But there's so much crap you could do in it. So start with Premiere first.
Okay.
Yeah, and Premiere is where you're learning like if it's anything like a figure, it's like where you're learning your cuts and mixing audio and into video and such like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I used to make a couple of YouTube videos before. But yeah, it takes some time. I'll tell you that for sure.
So
all the programs takes time, but put in effort, things will just spit out.
So Isaac, you mentioned Maker Studios. What what do you do for Maker? I mean, you tell us what you can tell us. You don't have to go super in depth if you can't.
You'll have to kill us.
For them, what I could say is that I help film various projects. So I meet with like YouTubers. For example, Markiplier. He's been the one that's been kidnapping me a lot.
Should we call the cops?
Fair enough.
I wanted to, but the biggest project that I'm on right now has to deal with YouTube. And starting 2012, I think it was, YouTube Rewind started to get a thing.
Yeah.
So now for 2017, I'm hooked onto that project. Okay. So it's kind of a big deal for me because I'm able to meet dozens of YouTubers. So, and the filming process, it's fucking insane. Even if we mess up, we even may put it in there.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Cool.
Now, earlier... Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Des.
Oh, sorry. That was going to be my question. Is like, I guess for some of our listeners, like, what is Maker? Because I've heard like the name Maker, and if I'm not because I don't know the exact history, but if I'm not mistaken, Maker's kind of like, or at least now, like Disney's YouTube branch, sort of.
Basically.
I mean, that's all I know. That was just basic searches like years ago.
Yeah, just to make it easier, Maker is like the creativity side of Disney for the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, basically Maker is the internet for Disney, which is why YouTube is such a big platform for us, because we have these many YouTubers. Like Shane Dawson, Markiplier, not anymore PewDiePie. We fired his ass.
That's probably the best thing you said all day.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Man down.
Question, because I know, or at least I thought that Maker was like the parent company for Polaris, which is a lot of like these gaming YouTubers, or some of them at least.
PewDiePie's network that I keep forgetting its name. But basically, we froze that network and just fired him because of what he did, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
But
did you meet him in person?
PewDiePie, once or twice during his whole Scare PewDiePie thing. But I migrated more to Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, more of that group instead of...
Which two YouTubers I watch.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then recently, I'm starting to get around with Shane Dawson. And shit. Yeah, it's insane.
You call me when you meet iJustine.
Oh.
Well, VidCon's around the corner.
What? I didn't hear what you just said. What did you say?
VidCon is around the corner.
VidCon.
VidCon.
Okay.
Or TwitchCon. One of those two. God damn it. Things up.
So, you had hands-on time with Destiny 2 during the reveal event, right?
Ooh, yes, I did.
So, could you just tell us how you felt about it?
Well, of course, it was like, I guess, alpha, quote, because it wasn't as perfect, but still, it went pretty good. Because, of course, there's so many errors already, but still, with PvP, it went really well. Especially with the Titan, with his roaming striker that you can outdo. That, by far, that's the easiest super to actually use. The hardest is friggin' Warlock. The swords that apparently they are just like, oh, but still, that's the hardest one because you slash and that freaking slash curves. So it makes it hard to actually go at one direction. It just curves automatically. So it's like, very fucking kidding me? So it is possible to miss someone.
So it's not tracking, but it curves right, left.
No, it goes. Let's just say it just goes straight, and it may curve or go diagonal to the right. So instead of a straight line, it goes like a horizontal line.
I would imagine that would be fixed.
No, that's how it's supposed to be. Because it's completely random, and it makes you harder to actually use it. So
you tell me it requires skill. Okay, so if you're a scrub, you should probably go striker. Got it.
Well, there is Golden Gun where you just no hesitation, just blah blah blah.
You basically got to McCree them, like, gotcha, yeah.
It's high noon.
It's high noon.
Ting, ting, ting.
Surprisingly, there is some few Golden Gun people that apparently miss with Golden Gun. I don't understand how. Because one shot, one kill. I see that hand.
You use it. That's all I gotta say. You use it without the accuracy boost.
Well, I just
legitimately. Also, most of my misses are either dumb ranges or, sadly, the occasional. I hate blaming it because I've been on this kick about watching Twitch fails, and most time people are horrible at things. They blame their mouse, blame the game.
Jesus.
It's like, so I'm super aware right now of what I'm blaming when I say things.
Okay.
Yeah, I miss. So what? Screw you too. I mean, what? I love you.
Don't hesitate.
Legitimately, that's also an issue of mine. Is that sometimes I get that second of thinking and thinking about possibilities and blot miss. Well, crap. But yeah.
Yeah, just practice.
That's why my sniping is also
just freaking shoot. Just literally, you see something, just shoot it. Just literally, just pull the trigger and shoot. No mercy. Overwatch, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, Overwatch, the game that you should get this evening, Buster.
So how did the guns feel? Like the new submachine gun and the grenade launcher. How'd they feel?
To say the sub is more close counter, so when you're shooting a regular, it feels clunky. But then when you get close to someone else, you could really feel the power. Of course, the kick is weird. Yeah, let's just say it has more than a pulse of a kick.
Yeah.
But you could still easily control it. Now with a grenade launcher, you could basically do geometry, aim, and just pop someone.
Yeah.
But then the reload speed on that,
Okay.
You got timing, so.
So let me ask this question. So is it safe to say that, when it comes from closest range to further out, it's submachine gun, then auto rifle?
It's kind of like that. But also it's in between pulse and scout. Even though it sounds weird, but it's like that also.
I'm trying to figure out why would I use it over an auto rifle, I guess.
I mean, if you don't like using friggin' 50 rounds of bullets into someone, I guess. I mean, it's really weird.
Okay, we'll just have to play it.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned earlier Kojima. Some people, I know, I'm assuming there's some things you can and cannot talk about, which is the theme of this episode. You recently got hired by Kojima Productions. You can say yes or no, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To an extent, also with Blizzard and Overwatch. So, but in order to join those two, I would have to drop Activision and Bungie.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
I immediately said yes because who wouldn't work for Kojima?
Apparently I wouldn't because I knew who they were.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, that's a fair thing.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're doing what you love, and it seems like either way, you're going to get great experience and exposure to awesome content and being part of something great. So I don't think it's a bad choice. I think you do what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, and Kojima's my first, let's just say, international company where I have to actually go and physically go to Tokyo to actually meet with him and go to his actual new production studio, which is really nice from the pictures I've seen. But still, it's basically keep doing what you love doing. This is what I love doing. Getting more little by little up higher in the chain, so not take the chance.
So how long have you been in this field?
Ever since I joined Maker, which is about 2 years.
Okay.
3 years. 2 years. Something like that.
Okay. And did you go to school for this at all, or you just said, screw it, I can do it? I mean...
I'm currently in school as well, because Maker is paying me to actually do this. So...
This guy just won life. I mean, now is a hot gamer girlfriend, and he is set, bro.
Basically, I'm doing 2 birds, 1 stone right now.
Nice.
Literally. So, it's unbelievable for me. I have no idea how, but still.
Yo, you're going to graduate with an already impressive resume. What? Like, at the end of the day, you can literally go to any studio and write down a piece of paper. Before we have this conversation, this is what I want to make. If you're not even willing to entertain this offer, then I might as well see myself out the door because there's nothing you can offer me.
I have a recommendation letter from Kojima.
Do you see the names on this resume?
I win.
Like, seriously, like I had lunch with the Prez. I mean, I have his phone in my back pocket. We go golfing on Saturdays. Like, what?
Golfing on Saturdays, Jesus.
So,
Oh, you don't golf, bro?
And never got into it. But
Might want to get into it, bud.
I'm mean at mini golf. I'm mean at putt.
golf
I
with
can
friends, though.
Swing the club.
My shot's gotten horrible.
Jesus.
Okay. So, do you guys have any more questions for Isaac, or do you want to move on to the main RNG topic of the day?
I got a question for him real quick. Seeing that you do a lot of, great, film work and production and everything you could think of, can you tell me what your computer setup is like at home? It's probably like bitchin' sweet, right?
Well, at home, I just have 1 laptop and 1 desktop, which is just, the standard, $5,000 computer.
Wait. Hold on.
Standard.
I gagged.
It's nothing.
No.
It's nothing. No, it's nothing major. It's just a standard computer.
Go back when he said, "I don't have nothing," just a laptop and a desktop. That's more than other people have in their household right now.
He said $5,000 and I gagged.
No. That's before. I'm talking before he even got there. He said, "I have a laptop and a standard desktop." Nothing more than a 5. Well, okay, so you have a laptop and a desktop. First of all, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have both. Des, do you have both?
A lot of people don't, which is...
I mean, no, but...
Buster, do you have both?
Nope.
I do, but that's a whole different story. But okay. Go on, Isaac. So nothing more standard than your $5,000. Explain this $5,000 PC rig.
The standard.
It's just a standard...
$5,000 computer.
It's just a standard Alienware.com.
I'm gonna fucking throw up.
So.
Wait. Don't throw up yet. I want to hear specs.
But
Just go on it, and that's literally where I just got. I just went on there, freaking looked at whichever is comfortable.
Prepackaged $5,000 Alienware machine.
So are we talking like a 250 gigabyte solid state along with a 2 terabyte hard drive?
It's more of a 125 solid state.
Okay.
With 3 terabyte.
How much?
3 terabytes.
Okay, 3 terabyte. Okay.
Yeah.
i7.
I don't need really that much because I could actually connect to my work server and basically that's it. So I don't really need a badass computer for stuff. I just connect to my work server.
Hold on. I'm not done with you yet, buddy. i7 processor, i7, right?
i5 actually.
I'm actually surprised. 16 or 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Rather 64.
32?
Oh, 32? Okay.
Okay. And the kicker, what is that GPU? What's that graphics card?
To be honest, I keep forgetting the name, so.
Okay. Is it
It's one of the top NVIDIA graphics.
GeForce? Or ATI?
I think it's GeForce.
Is it 1060, 70, 80, 1080 Ti?
Or depending on when you bought it, possibly a 980.
1080 popped in my head. I'm not
Okay.
entirely correct. But 1080 is popping in my head.
He's got a standard $5,000 computer.
Yeah, which also, to be fair for Alienware, 5Gs is standard. I built a dream rig on Alienware one time. You're talking $15,000 with like all the bells and whistles. I mean, this is at least 2 hard drives. This was the maximum amount of RAM. This was like the best GPU, water cooled, intercooling, blah 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 for like $15,000. It's like, yeah.
Start saving up.
Yeah. I already have a nice
$50,000 is what I paid
PC.
for my first car.
I have a nice PC. The only thing that I need to upgrade is my graphics card. I have a 960. I need to get a 1080 or something. But I am not in the rush to get it right now, so yeah.
I need to buy a house to put that $5,000 computer in first. How about that idea?
I'm taking care of that right now.
I'm in the market. I'm doing the same thing. So, moving on to the main topic, or the main RNG topic, we're doing things a little bit different. We're making things a little bit streamlined and less tangential, if you could believe it, even though this episode has been very tangential.
Tangential.
Yeah, that's true as well. So I'm going to hit the random number generator, and we have a list of main topics that we can pull from, and we will see where we go for them. And it's 13, so that topic would be preparations or tips for the Crucible for Destiny 2.
Oh, so this was the... Wait, was this the PC one or just the regular?
This is preparation/tips for Crucible for Destiny 2.
Doesn't have to
I don't
be.
think it matters.
It's not PC related. It's just
right.
D2
I
related.
knew there was one in there, like getting good for PC or something.
Yeah, transitioning to PC for Destiny 2. But
okay, yeah.
That
But
did come up.
Well, as Isaac may kind of confirm, like a lot of what I hear from a lot of like reveal stuff and like videos from it is the fact that like the gunplay itself is like pretty much D1, which like we've said before, I mean Bungie's gunplay has pretty much been staple since Halo, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, it's like, especially Dado has mentioned, and like I said, Isaac can confirm that they're really starting to like dial in like the intended usable ranges of these like weapons.
okay.
It's like auto rifles like feel good closer, and as I said, submachine guns feel pretty good close. And then like, I mean, I haven't played, so I don't know.
Yeah. Know your ranges.
These pieces of crap.
Basically, you gotta know the gun first before you go out and use it.
So yeah, definitely get more familiar with effective ranges of weapons. It's probably not going to be entirely the same as D1, because from the sounds of it, they're, like I said, they're tweaking a lot of like things. But at the same time, yeah, just start getting familiar with your ranges, your engagement ranges for your weapons. Like, I think it was King Quell at one point in time I forget what even it was. It was an exercise he had where it was specifically like basically a live action like homework type deal. Like
he put on all blue. He put on all blue gear to lower his intellect and discipline. So because of the way that the changes from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, that you can't have a tier 12 build, that they're all universal cooldown times. So he nerfed his cooldown times for his grenade and his melee, so he can get used to using guns more than the abilities.
Cool. Not exactly what I was trying to go for, but it was a piece of homework where like he would tell people like to use a hand cannon. If they didn't get the optimal damage numbers, they would have to do a thing. I forget what that thing was. But...
they'd have to die.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, if you had one shot without optimal numbers, you just die. Whether kill yourself or be killed. Jump off a ledge or whatever. But basically the only time that you could actually kill somebody is by getting optimal damage numbers, like, consistently.
Okay.
So that's one great way to learn your weapon ranges. And then, like I said, definitely get more familiar with primary play, because considering 2 of your weapon categories are pretty much what we call primaries now, definitely start getting used to more primary weapons. And like Forrest in the chat asked, how much do you think the gameplay will change with 4v4? Basically, a lot like the difference between a 6v6 and a 3v3 now. It's definitely going to be, like I said, a lot of reports say like time to kills are slower. Like killing your opponent is going to be a little harder. But at the same time, with a small team focus, it's going to become more of a thinking man's game. Like strategy, flanking, things like that are going to become more prominent, but also at the same time, getting out of an engagement is going to be even more important to know. Mm-hmm. So that's another like really good exercise to practice for D2 is start learning when to get out of an encounter and heal up before you re-engage. Mm-hmm. Because with slower times to kill, yes, it makes for like more tactical and more team play mechanics, but also at the same time gives you that opening of learning when to get out and actually being able to do some of these amazing turns more easily for everyone rather than these godlike people that you see.
So, yes, practicing, first of all, if you don't play 3v3 now, you should probably start playing it, right? Because that's the closest
definitely get used to the small team formats.
Yeah, definitely get used to that. For that, also too, if you haven't already, and I know we talk about this a lot, communication.
Yeah.
When in doubt, over communicate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like we said last week, like Bungie's giving you information on exactly where you are in a map. Start learning to have diarrhea of the mouth whenever that changes. It's like a good thing is always like to be aware of your radar. Well, now like give yourself a little look down. If you change places, be aware of that. Like early, like to learn it. Like I said, calling it out will actually help because you're not only reading it, you're saying it. This is like 2 different levels of learning, which a lot of like teaching institutes will give you. The more successful ways to actually take in information is if you're taking it in on 2 different levels. Like if you're looking at it, if you write it down, because it was a church I went to that actually had realized this, but actually looking at information and actually writing information down as you're reading it and you're writing it down helps the information to stick. So looking at information, speaking it, and hearing yourself just helps for that information to sink in that you can start learning. Because like I said, call-outs are going to be accessible to everyone, not just the PvP sweats that research like 3 or 4 different maps just to get all the call-out names. Call-outs are going to be in-game. So communication is going to be easier than ever to pick up. But yes, like starting now, call-out. Like, call-out as much as you can. Like, you may not know the specific designation of a call-out, but make the call-out. I mean, especially if you have someone on your team that knows the call-outs, they can correct you. Otherwise, just try to be as specific as possible.
It's like flashcards, basically.
Yeah.
something else too, and this is we don't normally talk about. A lot of people don't talk about this, but oftentimes what you find within a team, especially if you're not running with a consistent team, is the growing pains, especially when one person may be an aggressive player while the other are more passive. With D2, you can't revive but only so many times. And so it's extremely important to coordinate prior to starting a match. All right, we're going to push together. We're going to push at the same time. And if you're going to agree upon pushing at the same time, push, damn it. I can't tell you how many times where I say, all right, we're going to go aggressive, right? Cool. I'm pushing. I get gunned down. I'm like, okay, cool. Nobody's to be found. Where you guys at? Oh, sorry, man. I was just, what? Like, I'm dead.
That's also for the attack and defend gameplay. That's not
sure.
Throughout the entire, there's going to be a clash, like a free for all in a clash type of situation where you can just keep rezzing yourself. That's only for that attack and defend. That there's limited revives.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I understand.
The Trials evolution itself, but also when it goes to limited revives, like when limited revives are applicable, because if there's no deathmatch type mode where revives don't matter, then it's going to be a little weird, but yeah. But also at the same time, like one mechanic that was kind of glossed over is the fact that in a limited revive in engagement in D2, if you die and you have a revive token, when you're revived, your revive token is gone.
Yeah.
So you staying alive to be able to revive someone is also paramount as well. Like it goes back to that original point. But also, like I said, knowing who to revive in what situation. It's like Mr. Red Dom mentioned in chat that only one person on your team can get a specific ammo pickup. Well, that is also like going to need to be a team coordination. It's like, what do you need at the time? Do you need a sniper? Do you need a shotgunner? Do you need people to be laid back or aggressive? Mm-hmm. That's something you're going to need to decide, like as the situation demands, and also like, attack and defend the way it flows. What you need in what situation? What you need for a contingency. I mean, there's just a lot of things to think about.
Not including who has died but has a super still, because I don't think you lose a super upon your death.
No.
Okay, yeah. This guy is a good sniper, but this other guy has a super, and it could be a striker roaming super that you might want to say, look, I understand you're a great sniper, but we don't know when the next heavy ammo is going to drop. Maybe next 2 minutes. We only have about a minute left. You need to be able to process all of these things and say, look, I'm gonna go res this guy because he has the super. He can turn the tide for us, and whatever the case is. And as he's pushing in, I'll follow up with some gunplay, so that he's not basically getting mowed down, but I can take some of the tension off of him while he tries to get his slam on. You see, all those things you have to kind of process, communicate. It's no longer just, okay, I revive, and then, okay, what do I do now? You got to now start thinking through steps ahead. This is no longer a checkers chess.
The HUD also tells you. The HUD also tells you when a super is popped and where.
Exactly where, which is actually going to be incredible information, because before, especially in like 6v6, which doesn't really matter, but let's say in a trial situation, if someone pops a super and they're not in front of you, you have to guesstimate where they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can hear the auditory clue of a super popping almost anywhere on the map now, but it's still a guess on exactly where that character is and how far away they are from you. But now, in D2, like as soon as that super pops, they're going to tell you the call out that they're in, which is going to be another layer. Learn your call outs, because knowing where that is going to be extremely beneficial.
Mm-hmm. So, hold on, Des, you brought up a really valid point, and I want to ask Isaac this question.
Oh,
based on what you've played, done, whatever you can talk about, can you confirm that the audio cues are much more crisp and clear in D2 versus D1?
Yes. As one example, when I was using my striker super, you could actually hear the heavy thumps of every single step you take when you run. So cool. The audio has been greatly increased, and the mixing is nearly perfect.
Ooh, nice.
So even if you hear someone crouching around the corner, you may hear it. But again, it's up to you of how you hear stuff, of how you listen, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But if a striker is approaching maybe a few meters, around the corner, you can hear them approaching, correct? If you're not, it's okay.
Due to the heavy thumps of his feet.
Okay.
Also, you could hear his staticky around him because of the super
electric.
Each super makes a specific sound. So.
Yeah, which is another thing I noticed in videos is like also the visual cue of someone in super is massive. Mm-hmm. Jesus, they have such a glow around them.
So then, Des, thank you, and Isaac, thank you for answering that question, because that's another thing too. Not only paying attention to your HUD and your call outs and knowing, who's popping what where and paying attention to your HUD, you also have to listen too. And this is probably one of those things where you may need to invest in a nice pair of headphones or basically not play on mute. But it's because, if you're going to see things, that's one thing, but if you can also hear it as well, that's vital information that you can put together to pinpoint the exact location of an approaching aggressor, and you can communicate that to your team saying, look, I got a striker pushing in at 10 o'clock. Everybody group up, let's gun this fool down. It sounds cheesy as hell, but, I imagine this is what some of the great players do.
Actually, no, I was laughing because I realized one thing that can actually help people kind of prep for D2, at least like learning a lot of these cues and such, and learning to pay attention to certain things that are going to be introduced in D2 that we're not used to in D1. But things like footsteps and things are already in other shooters. It's like staple for other shooters.
Overwatch. Definitely.
I was about to say, hilariously, learning to play in a team, learning roles, and learning positioning, and learning to listen for things. Overwatch is actually an excellent game to pick up on a lot of these cues pre-D2.
Yeah, Overwatch, Titanfall 2 as well, but definitely Overwatch. I can't tell you, when I have my headphones on versus playing through the speakers on PC, it makes a hell of a difference. Because I'm more in tune, and I block out a lot of the sound. I put my headphones on, and so I'll know, okay, I hear a diva coming. I need to go get cover and maybe do a surprise attack. Right? Or flank or whatever the case is. So, yeah, definitely.
How Call of Duty games actually have perks that increase the ambient noise in game.
Oh yeah.
So
like I said, it's been a staple in like these competitive level shooters for a long time. While Destiny didn't have footsteps, so much it's great to hear that that's like an auditory thing that's coming, but there is like. Especially with the way movement is in D1, all of your activated jumps actually have sound cues. And so, there are sound cues in D1 to listen to. It's just, like I said, learning to listen for footsteps and how to identify footsteps and things like that. That's a whole different thing because, like I said, that in some cases, yes, that requires a bit of an investment in a decent, at least, set of headphones. Mm-hmm. You don't need to go into anything super, super crazy out there like Biz is going to tell you, but as long as you have basically 2 ear cups,
you're fine.
You're going to be all right. Because I know a lot of like the cheap with the headphone jack for the PS4, like a lot of the cheaper solutions are one-sided. It's like ideally you'll want to have, you want to be able to at least hear from all sources, and identify lefts and rights easily. So you're looking at least spend into the probably $40 to $60 range at a minimum to really be able to pick these things up.
Yeah, I was going to say 70.
Well, there's actually some really great sub 70 solutions, like of some decent headphones, but yeah, it's going to be a little bit more of an investment to be able to pick these things up than the average. Well, than what you need in D1, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yep, you can play with earbuds from an iPhone in D1 and be fine.
Which actually, legitimately for D2 might also be fine. Like a good pair, in-ear, any headphones, in-ear, anything will work well as long as it's like. I don't like iPhone because I don't like the way they fit in, but anything.
Yeah.
Like that,
shove it in your ear hole
very well,
because this is basically automatic like noise canceling and crap like that.
See.
So That's going to work well as well.
Personal preference, I don't like those. The little suction cup feels, I don't like them. I like the molded ones. But
I like those things, man.
Yeah, it's personal
Actually,
preference.
this is actually off-centered. Fits in the ear canal a little better.
Yeah, it's just a thing. You know, it's a personal preference. I don't like the squishy. I don't like the squishy feeling in my ear. The noise it makes.
Like I said,
sometimes.
I can't stand the way iPhones just kind of like the actual iPod ones, like just set on your ear. Kind of very uncomfortable for me.
I have a set that actually have like a little piece of like silicone that lock into your ear so they don't come out.
Yeah,
that's what.
I've seen those. Those look very interesting.
Yeah, that's what I have.
So hold on. So let's take a recap. So what we've explained to people thus far. Let's do a quick rundown of what we talked about. So communication.
Communication is going to be massive.
Okay.
And there's going to be no reason not to learn how to communicate in D2.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, this game is going to give you a crap ton of information on that.
So communicate. Sorry, go ahead.
Focus on guns, primary.
So yeah, getting
Primary
comfortable with primary guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
So start doing that now.
All stages primaries too. I mean, like branch out, start getting familiar at least with guns you're not even comfortable with, because even if you don't use them, still learning the effective ranges of what other people might use is going to be helpful from your perspective.
Okay. Then I know this is partially of communication, but coordination. So making sure that if you guys are going to set on a strategy that you execute it. So don't be a pleb and not push if everybody agreed to push.
Don't leave Roy Jenkins if you're not going to.
Exactly. And then basically listening for auditory cues and using that information along with what's going to be provided in the new HUD format for D2, right? And then also map awareness, obviously, know your maps.
Yeah.
And stop relying on your grenades. Because you're not going to have grenades every 30 seconds.
Good point. Good
I
point.
mean, possibly with some of these because armor perks will have cooldowns for grenades or melees and such, but we don't know the exact cooldowns of the nades and how that, because that's one thing. Like a lot of people have said, like a lot of things might change before the beta build and then even before the release build. Like a lot of the abilities and such are in place. A lot of what they do are in place.
Yeah.
A lot of what might change though are timers. So that's something that's definitely going to be a release thing to start learning to work around your timers.
So you're still going to lead with a grenade more than likely, but understand that you're not going to get an instant kill no matter how close in proximity that grenade lands to the
That's for sure too.
Right. So if you use, for example, so stop using sticky grenades because they're not going to get the instant kill. It's a crutch.
Not going to do it. Not going to happen.
Unless you're going to, this is going to be weird, and I don't know if you can even pull this off, because some people, if you get into a gunfight with them, sometimes at their last dying breath, they'll just, stick your grenade. Mm-hmm. That may, but it's true. That may not be reliable anymore, depending on the health, right?
Also, one-shot melees, too. There's no more one-shot melees.
Yeah, there's no one-shot abilities, but also sticky
grenades.
It
takes like 3 melees to kill someone, so that's out of the bag.
Sticky grenades are going to go from being a crutch to actually being part of your tactical arsenal, because cleaning up on a sticky nade, at least the last minute, oh my god, I at least need to, whereas, using a sticky, you get into a gunfight, you toss a sticky, oh, I might die, but you're dying too, becomes, hey, I need to make this guy weak for my teammates, so I'm going to toss this sticky, I'm going to die, but hey, this dude's weak on me. Yeah, he's weak on me at like rugs or whatever one of the callouts was. I think
absolute
call out.
Rugs.
Okay, it's absolute on rugs. Get over here and finish him off before he regens.
It's more of a preparatory type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it goes from being a crutch to something actually tactical to actually take full advantage of in that situation.
Speaking of teammates, also knowing that we're going to have new abilities like the healing rift, the weapons rift, and the shield, something that you might want to start getting used to is, hey, I got healing rift on me. They're going to push this door. I'm going to set up a shield perimeter over here, and then we can all shoot and cover.
Mm-hmm.
Which also, the class abilities, as I've been hearing, is definitely set to be available for any subclass. So the Rift, the Shield, and the Dodge is going to be available for any of the elemental subclasses for that class.
Yeah, it's a class-wide It's a quest-wide special ability. It's not per subquest. Yeah, I heard that too. So, Isaac, do you have any suggestions since you've had real-world first-hand experiences, or have we
What
covered?
can we play to get good?
Basically, play it as if you're doing CQC, I should say. So basically, close quarter combat, do not relay on your abilities. And when you have your super, use it when you need it. Don't just waste it. Use it when you actually need it.
Give us an example, like versus. So, like in D1,
Panic smashing. Don't panic smash. Just saying.
Well, you don't want to time smash on one person anymore. You want to do it on a group of people.
Okay.
Even though it is roaming, even though it's roaming now, you still want to do it in a group. Because the first smash is basically the traditional smash. After that, you're just bonking people on the head. So,
I wonder if is it confirmed that Death from Above is a perk that's going to be in a Titan tree?
It's a different one than Death from Above. As far as we've seen so far, Death from Above isn't coming back.
Okay, that makes perfect sense because that would be scary in its own right. Having a roaming
That's true.
jump up. Granted, Titan skin is dead, but you
But
jump.
still, a homing super like that.
I mean, and I imagine like you're running, you jump up, you get far more distance with a Death from Above than you were to just run in and slam.
And like I said, from what I've heard, like there's a lot more upward lift in Titan and Warlock jumps than before. Like they've switched the momentum of the jump to be more vertical,
more jetpack than booster.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
especially with the Warlock, it's more. Let's just say, fly assist, I guess, is off, and it's more just all over the place. So you have to really start getting used to it and start controlling it completely.
Okay.
Yeah, and I saw a video like that as a review of the Striker Titan, and you can actually watch that video, and you can watch the early part of it, and you can see him actually try and Titan skate. But he's just, instead of going forward, he's actually moving, it's like bunny hopping up each time he presses the button. So, I mean, so while you're not going to get the speed advantage like Warlocks and Titans did have, you're actually going to be able to get a lot more height, which, going back to your point, would have made Death from Above very scary to get, because Warlock Focus Burst already can get into the sky scary fast. And like Titan, like just it having like Catapult, again, scary fast into the air. Like having something like Catapult that can get into the air and even a little higher. Oh, I'm just going to home in on you. That would have been scary.
Yeah. Okay. I would imagine that with D2, there's going to be a lot. You're going to see a lot of bad habits.
Oh,
and you're going to get crushed. You're going to get crushed hardcore.
Your bad habits are going to be very, very evident.
Yeah.
Your Slayers that think they're good are going to get a wake-up call in D2.
Oh, yeah. Converse.
They're going to run ahead of their team and get demolished.
I'm kidding, Converse. We love you, I think. But no,
it was 104 in Texas the other day. The man can do whatever he wants. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so does everybody else in Texas. Okay. Yeah. Are there any other? Oh, as far as exotic goes, again, it may not be a bad thing not to rely on exotics, depending on what's coming out. I mean, some of the exotics that we saw, the hand cannon, left solar spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that I don't see you using that for PvP unless there's a group of plebs together huddling around and you want to do splash damage effect, right?
The only reason from what
it's year 2 Telesto.
But from what I gather, or from what I could hear, basically a lot of the reason why you see a lot of people using it is because it was for the weapons that they had available. It was like one of the punchiest, like most effective, like archetype and type of hand cannon that they had available, which is why you see it a lot in like a lot of these PvP matches. Like people, because I've seen a lot of people use it, but its perks just don't sound like it's great for that setting.
Okay. Is there any other tips that we need to discuss for D2? I'm sure we will revisit this at some point. Once we get our hands.
Once the beta comes around, we could definitely like reuse this and like really get a good feel because we'll actually know like what's like what to be able to compare things to, like because especially once the beta comes out, I mean, I have a feeling like I don't know for certain because I'm not on Bungie's payroll, but I do feel like it's going to be a lot like D1 because the feel of the beta to release to D1 was kind of minimal because the day one patch for D1 was not that massive. But so that's what I'm going to figure is going to be about the same for D2. Is like once we actually get a playable beta in our hands, it's like that's when we can really get a feel for how it's going to be at launch.
Okay.
Just make sure you have room in your system for the beta, because
Yeah.
Oh, I had a hard drive upgrade. I have like 2 terabyte hard drive in my PS4.
I only have like 2 games or 3 games on PlayStation. Wait, I don't have. First of all, I have all physical discs, so that's not even an issue. Sorry.
Yeah, I have one downloadable.
well, games now they're making on PlayStation though. Even with a disc, they're making you put all the data on the system now.
Yeah. Actually,
one example: Elder Scrolls Online.
well, also D1. I actually had a physical copy of D1 to begin with, but when it went down, I think it was Taken King. Late during the life cycle, when it dropped down to like $15 or so, I actually got the digital version of it, so I could stop it. It was around the time when Fallout 4 came out, because I was having to switch discs between D1 and Fallout 4 a lot, and I said screw it. So I went ahead and caught the caught it on sale, but the size of that was on system was exactly the same.
Okay.
Like from physical to digital copy. So it's not actually saving you, especially with something like this. I mean, if D1 is any indicator, there's going to be a lot of patches, a lot of tweaks, a lot of additional size to even download from that. So it's kind of actually a little more beneficial to get the download version, which, also newsflash, thank you a lot for the revolution, because I now have D2 pre-ordered. So I will be there at launch. I will be there with my own codes at beta. Thank you. You know who you are. But yeah, community is great. Thank you all. I'll be there.
I have 3 copies. God damn it. Fuck, man. I was going to surprise you.
Somebody beat you to it.
Oh, well.
But which I mean, still, I mean, like I said, between the host, the mods, and some of our people in our clan, like, y'all the best friends I've had in a long time.
I'm your friend? Oh, shit.
I use that term loosely with you, man.
Okay. Makes sense.
You're like that little brother you don't want around, but you have to claim him. Part of the package.
Yeah, man. I add a little spice and color to the scene.
Do you mean brother like brother, or do you mean like brother as in like brother? Like, I'm curious. I'm confused. that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted Biz to do.
My man.
That's what I wanted him to do.
But yeah. So I'll, like I said, as soon as that beta becomes available, as soon as I get that code, as soon as it becomes downloadable, your boy will be there. And I have a pre-order digitally, so that's
Nice.
because that's
Make sure you have money for other games too, because coming E3.
Tell me about it, man. Because they still have to announce like some kind of release date for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
And Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, that's probably gonna be another year and a half, man. Tetsuya Nomura takes forever to develop a game. Forever.
Random question for you, Isaac. Sorry, go ahead. Random question for you. On your picture, what is that on your face?
I know, right?
It's a helmet. And then
We get it's a helmet. But what kind of helmet?
You don't. Jesus.
I thought it was some kind of
What?
Titan
The
helmet.
Titanfall helmet.
Oh, Titanfall helmet.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's the first Titanfall helmet, from the first game.
Okay.
The second one actually has an antenna.
Okay. Cool helmet, bro. Can I have it?
Nah.
He wants to say go screw yourself, but he's trying to find a nice way to say it.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I figured I asked. The worst thing he can say is no.
No, yeah.
Legitimately.
All right.
But also, since we're famous for side tangents, I did find out something very hilarious about the D2 reveal. Something extravagantly hilarious. A day before as the TWAB called it, the DRE, the Dre event, or the Dre happened, the reveal was leaked on Reddit. A list of reveal things was leaked on Reddit that actually became like 98% accurate. They listed off, well, actually, they didn't list off the fact that grenade launchers was in there because they didn't want to spoil that fun. But they actually listed off specifically the new subclasses, like the new supers. They specifically listed off the fact that class abilities were in there. What they did, as well as the PvP changes. I was going to go into 4v4, how the weapons, like the fact that the layouts were changing. Again, this was at least a day before event, and they've nailed all that information. That turned out to be very, very true. One thing that cannot be confirmed or denied at this point in time was the fact that the Taken King subclasses, Stormcallers, Nightstalkers, and Sunbreakers, they mentioned were going to be in-game. But this is something that we cannot confirm or deny at this point in time, but everything else that he mentioned in this leak was accurate.
Isaac, can we get a hint?
Lore-wise, the Taken King subclasses were forged outside of the light. So it is possible they may return. Because remember, in Destiny 2, the Cabal used the Arc to suppress the Traveler's light, in which we have to force ourselves to fuse, I guess, if you want to call that, our current supers. But what about the supers that were forged outside of the light? Are those still around, or we just gave up on them?
Or more questions. But like I said, I found that funny because the only thing, that's why I was like 98% accurate, because everything else that was mentioned in that leak was revealed. And we heard about.
Yeah.
And the only thing we can't is the one thing that nobody's talking about, and nobody anything can talk about, are the Taken King subclasses.
And the weird thing, we cannot find who the leaker is this time.
Well, I found that because the only way I was even able to see this post was actually from a, Google can actually cache websites. It was actually cached because if you look for it currently on Reddit, it's deleted. The account, the post, everything is gone, which is sad because he actually had a lengthy conversation with a few people. Can't see that. You can only see the responder sides, which is very eh. But the account was Destiny Leaks.
Throwaway account, as would we call it.
Yeah. I mean, it was because, like I said, the title of the account was Destiny Leaks. So there's no hint or clue at who did it. Only the fact that at the end of his message, he said, and if Bungie sees this, I never signed an NDA, LOL.
God, like a savagery.
So I found that funny. But yeah, like I said, the only way I was able to see it is from a cache from another person's YouTube video. I don't remember the video or who did it. But it did mention there was like something on YouTube about a leak. But he had the link to the cache, to the cached site, or to the cached page, and post in his description, which led to the original leak post itself. So that was some very, and also, like I said, I found it retroactively, and it turned out to be true. But also hilariously, this has happened 2 other times in Bungie Past. But the ones that Bungie chooses to get rid of, basically, or try to sweep under the rug, are the ones that turn out to be right. Which, like I said, 98% of this one was. Mm-hmm. So,
All right, Isaac. 2 more questions, and we'll be closing out because we've already hit about 2.5 hours now, and I just to let you guys know, I've had a bad case of insomnia last night, and I didn't sleep at all, so I feel like dog shit. How do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
It's fine.
Okay.
I wouldn't get it every single time because eating it every single time is boring, but once in a while, it's fine.
And what is your preferred buffalo wing sauce? Blue cheese or ranch?
Fuck is blue cheese?
What did you just say?
What? God, what is blue cheese?
As in, you don't know what it is, or you don't like blue cheese? No.
Depends on how you hear it. I don't know what's blue cheese. I've heard of it, but I don't know. I never tried it. So
okay, he's never tried it. It might be a California thing too.
Yeah,
wait,
are you
in California?
Sauce?
yeah, I'm in California.
Like
avocado dressing.
Like essentially blue cheese, like the way a lot of restaurants make it, is literally ranch with blue cheese crumbles in it.
Yeah, I know.
Which blue cheese itself is it categorized as a mold vein?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So it's a very moldy cheese.
It helps take the heat away, basically.
Yeah, ranch does that by itself. I mean,
Yeah.
it's creamy.
Yeah.
It's like basically a milk product, the way some people make it.
Do you like tofu?
Ew.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings this episode to a resounding and speculative and highly interesting close. Isaac, thank you for being on. I appreciate it. I'm sure the guys, as you can see, the guys appreciate it.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell everybody all the listeners, where they can find you?
If you want to be found, that is.
If you want to be found.
Easiest way is Twitter.
What's your Twitter?
Gamer. What the fuck?
Gamer what the fuck on Twitter. At gamer what the fuck. Awesome.
I don't know. Gamer_Demos. I'll type it in the chat also because some people apparently doesn't know how really to spell it. So
Okay, there it is in the chat. Cool.
Let's go. Go ahead, Des.
Hello, it's the main man, the Businessman24. You can find me on Twitter at businessman_DRP. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/businessman24. I will be streaming Saturday. Well, I should say Saturday. I will be streaming this evening if you're watching live. If you're not watching live, I'll be streaming Memorial Day, So, come check me out. Come hang out in the Twitches, and let's have some fun. I don't know how to do it anymore.
All right. This is your boy Raven. You can find me on Twitter at DES_Raven. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/thecorvusnest. And you can find me on YouTube by searching out Death Switch Raven. And I do have a shout out to our latest clan members that got in touch with me via Bungie app or Bungie's website. And hilariously, I knew the name was familiar in chat, but it's Mr. Red Dom and friend. I didn't get the friend's name, but shout out to those guys. And hopefully, I didn't see them in Discord yet. But Mr. Red Dom, you have a Discord link. I sent it to you myself.
Join it.
Join us.
It's also a pin to our Twitter, which you can find our Twitter at the RngCast, our Instagram at the RngCast. You're watching our Twitch, twitch.tv, the RngCast. You can email us, therngcast@gmail.com. If you like what you're listening to and what you're seeing, and you want to support us monetarily, you don't have to. We don't require it. We're here every week, like clockwork, for free, or for if you want to pledge to our Patreon, like Berg has, and Willis, and the one guy who refuses to tell me who he is on Twitter so I can follow him back. But and Average Joe, shout out to you, Average Joe. Patreon.com/TheRngCast. Thank you for your support. And you can find me, Super Sleepy Buster, on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. And on Twitch at twitch.tv/Buster_Knuckle. I will be streaming today after I wake up. And I think that's it, right? That's it? Yeah, that's it. And this has been the RngCast. We're out.
Later, man.
See you all next week.
Later.
There you go, Isaac. Way to go. I am so tired. I'm fucking delirious.
Jesus.
Take one. The RngCast is a member of the Destiny Tracker Podcast Network. If you like us, you should check out the other podcasts in the network. If you like lore, the Destiny Lorecast and Rabbit Hole Radio is for you. If you're like Raven and weapon stats are your thing, check out Destiny Massive Breakdowns and the Destiny Track Podcast. If accents get your fire going, check out the Destiny Down Under podcast, and that sure will scratch that itch. But always remember, we here at the RngCast love you all. Thanks for listening.